ever had one of those relationships with your customer where you go out, everything seems amazing, you're having a great day, the sun is shining, you're walking around, the customer's like, I want this, and I want this, and you're saying, yeah, adding this up, this is going to be a great order. You're getting on well together, and the customer says, hey, great to meet you, can't wait to work with you. And you're thinking, wow, this is good. And then we've got a 3-step process of how it works. Quite simply, we come out, we meet you, we do the quote. That's step 1. We've already just done that one. Number 2 is I'm going to send you that quote. Thanks, Mr. Customer. I'm going to head back to the office now. I'll put the quote together. I'll get it over first thing tomorrow. Then step 3 is the follow-up. Follow-up is always done on email. And it's, hey, thanks for seeing me the other day. Great to meet you. If you've got any questions around the quote, let me know. I'm always here. That's it. And then what you hear is crickets. Yeah, nothing. Just crickets. And I've been there so many times where I'm thinking, this is great. We're getting the order, adding it up, looking good. But there's always a few little issues along the way, isn't there? Issues number 1 that I see, let's be honest, you're hiding behind email instead of phoning people. It's the biggest cop-out I see, people emailing. Number 2, when you do email, it's crap. It's, hey, got any questions? Can I have some money? Would that be okay? It's terrible. It's bloody awful. If that's the way you're approaching sales, you deserve not to get the sale. And so we've developed a different process. That's how we started. And it was tragically bad. And what we've moved into is a 5-step process. Now, the reason we've moved to a 5-step process, quite honestly, research. That's what we found worked best. Not even just our research. In fact, we use other people's research as well. And we find that the average person that's buying from us, let's say a facilities manager or whatever position it might be that you're selling to, they get on average 121 emails a day. 121. That's an awful lot of emails. They also need on average 7 touch points before they're ready to commit to a purchase. And so I like to control at least 5 of them directly and the rest indirectly. Now, I would always aim for about 10 touch points minimum, and I mean minimum. So for us, for example, the touch point would be videos on YouTube, videos on LinkedIn. Could be a set of MailChimp messages that we send half a dozen out, as well as my phone calls and emails that I'm going to send as well. So there's an awful lot of touch points we're going to use. And that should net you at least, let's say, 25 to 45% conversion rate on the people you see. So 5-step process, what do we do for it? Well, first up, I'm going to follow up on the phone. And I'm always going to do that as my primary follow-up, with email being my secondary and only the secondary, because I want to build a relationship with you. I want to have a chat and say, hey, great to meet you, Mike. Look, I understand that you had a concern with walkways being too close to the forklift aisle, or the pallets being left in the way was a concern. It was a health and safety hazard. There was a problem with this, that, the other. I understand you need to get that resolved pretty quickly. And so I do have a couple of dates I've put together for you. I can actually squeeze you in about 2 weeks' time. It's a pretty tight schedule, but I can get the paperwork started today. I can get everything sent over to you. All we need you to do is have a look through the risk assessment, the method statement. Make sure you're happy with the time frame we've got. We'll get everything else organized and ordered this end. Our guys can be on site in 2 weeks. We can get this done for you. How does that sound for you? Now, I always do it in a phone call because I want to hear what they're saying, but I also want to give them time to digest and get that silence in there as well. The important thing is to listen. So it's understated that, the point that when you're asking a question, you need to just shut up and listen to the answer. What I'm asking you is for that order. I'm saying, hey, I can do this. I can get it in this time frame for you. It's going to take me to do paperwork, etc. Get that up today, order the products, get the guys organized. We'll be there 2 weeks' time. How does that work for you? I understand the pain points you've got, and I'm offering a solution and a time frame that suits that, that narrative that you need. And that's really it. I'm just asking for that order. Now, that is my very first point of contact. And I would typically do that a day to maybe 2 days after I've been out. So I would typically want my quote out within, say, 2 hours of me being there to see them. Now, I do this very easily because I have somebody based in the office. We use a Google Forms document to fill out what people need. So how many parking spaces, how many walkways, and how wide, how long, etc., what color. And I have somebody in the office in real time putting that into a quotation. And as I'm taking the images, I save them straight away. Either, again, use Google Drive, or we use Apple for a lot of our stuff. So we share ours quite easily. But whatever it is you're using, you should be able to get those pictures and that form over pretty fast so that the quote can be with them within, say, 2 hours of your visit. That's the key thing there. But the follow-up, I would say 24 to 48 hours is where you need to put this follow-up in. And that's literally what I would do. I'd pick up the phone. Hey, Mr. Customer, great to meet you the other day. Look, you told me that you were concerned about the walkways or the aisles for the forklifts, or you needed the parking lot done. Your time frame is roughly X. I can get that done for you. I've got a team available that can get it on this date. I can be there at this time. I've checked the weather, or I've ordered products, or I can get the products ordered for you. All I need to do is just send over the paperwork for the risk assessment, the method statement, and I just need the order signing from you as well. How does that work for you? Now, at this point, the customer's going to say, oh, okay, hold up. Right. I'm going to get 2, 3 quotes. You're just quote number 1. I got people coming in today, tomorrow, whatever it may be. I'll let you know as soon as we have the other quotes, and we'll decide what we're going to do. Another one they could say is, it's gone to my boss. I get away from my boss to, go through it, et cetera, et cetera. Or it could be a straight yes, no thanks. Those are really like your 3 options that you're going to get. Now, in every case, you need to send an email to the customer. And I've drafted a couple of emails that I would send. So in this case, I would say, and I'll read from my emails here. Hey, this customer, it's Alex here from linemarking.com. Great to meet you, and thanks for inviting me in. I'm conscious that when we spoke, we needed to get the walkway lines, the parking lot spaces, the aisle markers, whatever it may be, installed quickly, as it was a health and safety issue, production concern, or a pain point, etc. Whatever that pain point is, we're identifying it in the email and on the phone call and repeating it back to them. I understand that back pain you have needs to get resolved pretty quickly. I can get you in on this date. I understand that your tooth hurts. I need to get it removed for you. I can do this for you now. The point is, we understand that pain point and we're repeating it back. I've checked our schedule. We currently have XXX date available. Would that be a good date? I'm straight out asking you for that sale. Now, the customer can give you a variety of answers, and quite honestly, there's no point in me going through 100 scenarios because I don't know what those scenarios are going to be for you. But the point is, you just need to listen. That's it, and then you can decide the next course of action. Now, the next course of action is always going to be a follow-up still. So I've set mine on day 3, and I start out with phone call again, very much with the same narrative as day 1, but with a slight difference. Because in this phone call and email, I'm actually asking for their boss to be a part of it. I've already spoken to you and I said, hey, can I have the order? You haven't come back to me with a yes. Maybe you'd come back with not a no, but we need this, that, the other people, other quotes, whatever it may be. My boss needs to sign it off. And so the way I do this is I ask for their boss to come and get involved at this point pretty early on without directly asking. It's always best to do it indirect because it causes offense. If I were to say to you, okay, look, I realize you're not able to sign this off. I need your boss to come and meet me because he's going to have to sign this off. That's going to get you kicked out of the door pretty quickly, and it's not the way you should approach it. So instead, the way I approach it is very much like this. Hey, Miss Customer, thanks again for talking to me on Monday. Look, I've kept the dates penciled in for now that I gave you the other day, and I'll let you know if we need to release them for anybody else. But hopefully you've had the other quotes in by now. I know I never like waiting for people to send me quotes, and so I thought I'd ask if there's anything else we needed to do in order to get the project started. I'll give you a call on, let's say, Thursday, Friday, whichever day you're going to go for, to discuss the project and answer any questions before we move on. Is there anyone else, though, before I send that over, is there anyone else that you think would want to at least be a part of that conversation or, listen to the call? Would anyone else be upset if we didn't invite them to that call? What I'm saying here is I want your boss to come on the phone call. But I don't want to ask for your boss. So look, let's do a phone call. I'll send you a Zoom link or a Teams link. Is there anyone else that would be upset if we didn't invite them to the call? Even if they're just listening in, do they need to know what we're talking about? Make sure that, there are other concerned parties. Now, this doesn't have to just be their boss. It could be somebody else within the company. Let's say the production manager, the warehouse manager. It could be the facilities manager, depending on who you're talking to. It could be an operations manager. The point is you're getting more buy-in from more people. Let's get behind this project. Let's get other people involved and get this project sold down the river. We need to get this approved. Who else do we need to bring in to get approval and add some weight behind it? That's what I'm asking for in this one. So I'll do that in a phone call and I'll do it in an email, just as I've said that. Now, the customer may say, no, it's fine. We don't need anyone else involved. I'm happy. I'm just waiting for other quotes, et cetera, et cetera. That's fine. we've made it apparent that like we've already responded and other people may or may not have got back to you. I personally hate waiting for quotes. That's why my quotes are out like 2 hours max. You'll get a quote from me. That's pretty quick. In fact, I would say it's probably quicker than anyone else would get a quote out for you. And I would go so far as to say the way you manage the small things is exactly how you manage the big things. And if we can be efficient and organized in the small areas, we are absolutely going to be in big areas. This is our bread and butter. This is what we do. So, we can manage the small bits, and that's how well we do it. We're definitely going to do it with the big bits. Next up, this is going to go to day 5, day 7, somewhere around there. And hopefully you've got that boss to join the conversation. This is the Zoom or Teams call that you were asking for in call number 2. So the purpose of call number 2 wasn't really to push them for the sale again. It was just to get other buy-in. This one is that phone call with the other people. This is the buy-in. So what we're looking for is that boss, operations manager, general manager, anyone else concerned or affected by the project. And what we're looking to do is, again, understand that we know the pain points, we establish what they are, we've agreed what the next steps could be. Let's get this signed off. What else do we need to do? So I would keep this extremely short and to the point. If they won't accept it with the boss, a phone call, very nice and short. And I would say, look, I only have a few moments, so I'm going to keep it very brief. I want to work with your company, ABC, construction, whatever it may be. And I think it would be a great fit for you. What can we both do to get this project over the line for you? And the idea, this is we're looking for a very quick yes, no, what's the next step? And I'm kind of asking you, what's the point in me following up with you anymore? Are you committed to this, or is this a waste of your time and a waste of my time? So although we've invited the boss on the conversation, we've got, the big chief say in the call, we're making it straight to the point of, look, we've only got a few moments. I want to keep it brief. What do we both need to do to get this order over the line for you? You've told me that you need the car park done, you need the parking lots in, you need the walkways doing, you need the aisle markers or the stock markers or, whatever it is, the pallet areas marking out. I've offered a couple of dates. I just need to know what is it we can do together to get this organized. Now, I've done my bit, so really it's back to you. What are you going to do to get this over the line? You told me it was important. Is it still important, or is this a back burner sort of project, like it's not important anymore? It's straight to the point. Now, the boss may or may not be aware. Ideally, the person you're seeing will have informed their boss and said, hey, this is what I'm buying. This is what I want to do. They'll have had that conversation, and so he already understands the background of it. If not, though, it's also an opportunity for you to just clarify that with the pain points. You told me this. This is what we've offered. So following this one up, we do have 2 more follow-ups to do. Now, the next follow-up is going to be slightly different. At this point, I'm going to be sending out some content relating to something. For example, let's say we're doing warehouse line marking. I'm going to send you out an email. Now, I typically use MailChimp for this because it integrates brilliantly with videos as opposed to, say, Pipedrive. And what I would do is send it as a single email out through MailChimp, and it will be what to expect when you start your project with us. Now, this is a short video we've created. I'll put a link just below for you. And all we're doing is saying, this is what you can expect when we turn up to do your project. We need an area set out for the tools, the equipment, the paints, etc. We'll issue the paperwork, we'll sign the documents, like give us the permit. We're going to carry on with the work. We're going to clean everything up, take away all the mess. The project's going to be handed over. Everybody's happy. It's a 2-minute video, and we send that out with a couple of other videos that relate as well. So, for example, we might say, this is how to set out a parking lot. This is how to set out a walkway inside a warehouse. This is how to do floor preparation properly. Now, the point is, although we're looking to get yes, no answer, what we're doing is giving you a touch point that says, we know our stuff. This is how we're going to look after you. And this is relevant because when we come to do your project, these are the things that we're going to be asking of you. For example, an area to work in. We need it clear. We need it cordoned off. We need it ready to go. And so it shows that we're organized. It shows we know our stuff and we understand what needs to happen in order to get this done properly. So I would typically do this around day 8 to 10. Now, the very last one here, this one isn't a phone call necessarily. You could do this one just on an email if it's more comfortable. This is a breakup. This is your Dear John letter. Look, it isn't working out. It's not me, it's you, whichever way you want to phrase it. The way I typically do this, it's very short to the point. Hey, Ms. Customer, thanks for requesting to start your line marking project with us. We appreciate that sometimes other things take priority, and so we're going to be closing down your quote in 24 hours so as not to keep bothering you. If you need to revisit this at any point, let us know. We'll get straight on this for you. So this is our Dear John letter, and it's a case of breaking up with the customer and saying, thanks, but it's actually you that's the problem now, not us. And what we need to do is just boot you out of our pipeline, because ultimately, I got a pipeline, you started up here, it's coming down here, it's coming down, and you're moving down, but people are going to fall out all the way along that pipeline until I get a sale. And the thing I want to do is kick you out of that pipeline quick as I can. As soon as you enter, in fact, I don't even want you to enter the pipeline unless you're qualified, but as soon as you're in it, I literally want to boot you out or get you down to that yes. That's it. And the quicker I boot you out, the quicker I get to a yes, spend time on the customers that are ready to commit. And that's it. That's our follow-up process. So you can adapt this, you can change it to, suit whatever you'll find is working and not working. At the end of the day, this doesn't work for everybody. You shouldn't take it as the only way to do it. You should be able to, adapt this to suit your business needs, but also things are going to change as well. You'll find this process works great for some people. It doesn't work great for other customers. Some customers will say, look, stop hassling us. We'll get back to you when we're ready. And that's okay. Don't take it personally. Just change and adapt. The point is you can still use this, just change the dates when you're doing it. The conversation should still be roughly the same though. We're looking to get a yes or no. Let's cut straight to the point. I'm not here just to say, hey, got any questions? Let me know. I'm here to give me the order. What do I need to do? I want to work with you. You told me these are your pain points. I've told you I'll address them this way, this way, this way. This is what I'm going to do. What are you going to do for me? And that's it. Anyway, that's it for this lesson. Let's move on to the next one. I will see you guys in the next video.